The latest generation Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 and Versa 4 are out, but you can get previous generation Versa 3 and Watch 4 at a bargain. But which one is a better smartwatch between the two? And Fitbit Versa 3 is quite old as well, as it was launched in 2020. On the other hand, Watch 4 was only launched last year. I have answered exactly that and other similar questions in this Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 versus Fitbit Versa 3 comparison video. Let's first start with the basics. In the looks department, both watches are polar opposite. One is square and the other one is round in the shape. I personally used to prefer round smartwatches, but this square design has grown on me. However, personally I am not a big fan of Versa 3's size. It feels small on my wrist. Compared to that, I like the Watch 4's on-hand look better. As you can see side by side, Watch 4 is bigger and wider, but in terms of thickness, Versa 3 takes the lead. In terms of weight, I didn't find one to be significantly heavier than the other. Versa 3 weighs around 28.5 grams and Watch 4 weighs around 30.3 grams. In terms of comfort, I found Fitbit Versa 3 to be more comfortable, but the difference between Watch 4 and Versa 3 wasn't that big. Versa felt really light and there were times when I didn't even feel anything on my wrist. One thing is for sure, Samsung Watch 4 has better build quality as it even meets the military standard. It features an aluminium case with Gorilla Glass DX Plus for display protection. Similar to that, Fitbit Versa 3 comes with an aluminium case as well. Speaking of the case, there are no physical buttons on Fitbit Versa 3, only one touch sensitive button. Weirdly, you need to actually press it like an actual button for it to work. So why even add a touch sensitive button? Just to avoid accidental presses? Because personally I am not a big fan of this button. Watch 4 comes with two buttons. The top is the home button and the bottom one is the back button. It also features touch sensitive bezels which make the watch easier to navigate. Another unique thing about Fitbit Versa 3 is that it comes with proprietary straps. So if you want to change them, then you will have to get them from Fitbit. Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 uses 20mm standard straps that can be replaced with any standard 20mm strap. Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 comes with a 1.4-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 450 by 450. Fitbit Versa 3 on the other hand comes with a bigger 1.58-inch AMOLED display with a 336 by 336 display resolution. So while the screen size of Fitbit might be a little bigger, but it features a lower resolution display. Also, in my daily usage, I found Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 display to feel slightly better. It's because the display on square display is measured diagonally. In my daily usage, I found the watches to be easy to read in both indoor and outdoor environments. The UI on both watches is radically different. In fact, I would say that if you haven't used a Fitbit before, you will find that using it requires some getting used to. Swiping up from below will bring your widgets like weather, health metrics and more. Swiping down from above brings your notifications. Swiping left to right gives you access to some quick settings. The right to left swipe will show you your app drawer. I like this and dislike this UI at the same time. Compared to that, I find Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 to be more easier to use and user friendly. It is designed in a way that you can use the watch using just one finger. Swiping left to right brings notifications. Swiping from bottom to above will bring app drawer. Swiping right to left will bring you widgets, and swiping from above will bring you quick control. And this kind of brings me to one major difference between the two watches, and that is operating system. You might be wondering that yes, Watch 4 is powered by Wear OS and Versa 3 is powered by Fitbit's OS. So of course, they will be different from each other. However, there's one fundamental difference between the two operating systems in my opinion. While Samsung's UI has been made keeping the health, sports, casual or productivity oriented users in mind, Fitbit on the other hand seems to be more fitness oriented. It feels more like a band that can track your health, sleep, and that also happens to tell you the date and time. And just to make it little more smart, Fitbit has added notification sync, Alexa, and other basic smart features. Compared to that, you can tinker, install apps, games, and do a lot more on Watch 4 in comparison to that. Initially, I was annoyed by this Fitbit's approach, but it kind of grew on me. No hundreds of options or settings to tinker with, and fairly simple to use the watch. All in all, this made it a very attractive fitness-oriented smartwatch. Until I actually started using it for fitness purposes. More on that later. One department where Watch 4 is clearly the winner is in the app department. You can install apps like Spotify, Gboard, YouTube Music, type messages, and a lot more. By the way, you can play MP3 music on Watch 4 but not on Versa 3. So if you have your own music files, then Versa 3 is not for you. Also, Samsung has way more smart features built into it, like increasing touch sensitivity so that you can use it while wearing your gloves. You can also set password to protect your privacy when you are not wearing the watch. In terms of health tracking, performance of Fitbit Versa 3 was not always up to the mark. Occasionally it tracked me sleeping even when I was not even wearing the watch. However, whenever I was wearing the watch, it did an exceptional job of tracking my heart rate, sleep, and other health vitals. I also did a comparison of run analysis with my Garmin 245 Music and found it to be pretty close. This brings us to the second shortcoming of Fitbit, which is while it did track my run, but it only had some basic metrics to offer. So if you want to get more data for your sports activities, then Watch 4 will provide way more metrics for your sports activities. By the way, you can check my running accuracy test video of Watch 4 and Fitbit Versa 3 using the I button. Coming back to the video, Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 isn't perfect either. Its heart rate and sleep tracking is a hit or a miss. So in the end, both watches are lacking something in health and sports tracking department. But in terms of pure specs, like which one has more metrics, profiles, and modes, Samsung takes the cake. Also, Fitbit requires you to purchase Fitbit Premium to get more data and metrics from your watch, which means you will have to make another purchase. I am using Fitbit Premium currently, and whether or not it is actually worth it is something I will talk in my future in-depth review video. Now before I wind up with this comparison, there is another unique Fitbit Versa 3 feature that I almost forgot to share with you. When you create your Fitbit account, you need to add your date of birth, height, weight, and other personal details. Using these details, Fitbit calculates calories you will burn during the day. I mean all the activities that we do require energy, whether it's blinking, eating, sleeping, or working. So my default calories burned during the beginning of the day is usually around 1100 calories. And I'm going to be honest, this kind of threw me off initially, but after a while I got used to seeing 16 to 1700 calories burned during the end of my day. To conclude, I will say that I found Fitbit Versa 3 and Galaxy Watch 4 to be more or less the same. However, if you are someone who is looking for a smartwatch to seriously manage and track your lifestyle, then you can consider Fitbit, given you are also ready to pay a subscription cost. Do I even need to talk about this? At this point, it is almost certain that every other watch in the market offers better battery life than Wear OS. Except Apple Watch, of course. Best you are going to get out of the Watch 4 is 1.5 days, and 2-hour charging time is just too long in my opinion. Fitbit Versa 3 on the other hand lasts around 4 to 5 days on a single charge. So its 2-hour charging time doesn't feel that long when battery runs out. To be fair, Samsung has fixed the slow charging speed on the next generation Galaxy Watch 5, but it is expensive. You can see my Watch 4 versus Watch 5 video to know all the changes available on the new Watch 5. So which one should you go with? If you don't want to pay for any extra subscription, then go with Watch 4. You will definitely get your money's worth. Not to mention, you will be able to use all its features as intended. It's not that Samsung Watch 4 is bad deal either. It comes with features like ECG as well, although it is available only in the select locations. Still, to get the same feature, you would need to go with Fitbit Sense, which costs more money. Fitbit Versa 3 without subscription is pretty good as well if you just want a watch to track health vitals and other activities. It has a pretty decent battery, almost no extra bloat or feature, and there are some users that might prefer Fitbit over Samsung just for that reason. However, in one case Samsung Watch 4 will be a clear winner. It will be when it comes to third-party app support. So if you want some golfing app, fitness apps like Peloton and so on, then you should go with Watch 4. So guys, that was it for today. Don't forget to press that like button and subscribe to our channel. We come out with wearable tech videos like this almost every day, so subscribe. See you tomorrow.